We're live. All right, what's up, y'all? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone. Glad y'all are here. Get busy here. We'll say our good mornings. Drew's here for those that are curious, as you often seem to be. Drew's here, and we'll no doubt be grabbing the tripod. I'll have to adjust momentarily. Let's see. We'll say our good mornings. Where's all my comments? I see y'all watching, but it's not showing me. Oh, there we go. Stephen Miller, Kobe Rosenthal. Let's do shout-outs, all right? Then we'll get to questions and all that good stuff. So y'all line them up. You know the drill. James Pittman, good morning. Matt Brownwell, Ryan Broussard, Yancey Benoit, Stephen Bro, Aaron Hawkins. What's up, y'all? Jody Moscona, Linda McAdams. What's up, Aunt Lynn? Good morning. James Dean. Stephen Hump Day. Hey, no, don't you grab that. All right. Petey Kern, Christopher Davis, Aunt Sharon. How about this, man? I got like my whole family watching this thing. It's fantastic. Jonathan Miller, Ryan Broussard. Good morning, y'all. Reginald Simmons, good morning. Patty Cutcher, Travis McGraw, Alvanos, Scott Boch. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Look, I just noticed I'm sporting my DJ cup. Darren James. Of course, we're presented by Boudreaux's Bloody Mary Mix, Margarita Mix. Go buy some. Go to the website and buy some. If you would, if you don't mind. It would be good if you did. But if you don't, that's fine. You can still watch, and I'll be good with that. Let's see. So we'll get some stuff here. LSU Fall Camp continues. Saints have a walkthrough this morning, and then they head to Jacksonville for the first preseason game tomorrow in Jacksonville. And also we talk about Chris Reid, who's off the baseball team, if y'all want to talk about that as well. Erica Wilson, good morning. Bob, good morning. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Stephen Bro. Oh, nice. Stephen Bro said, watching while waiting for the school bus for the first day of kindergarten. Well, that's great. Good job, man. I hope it goes well, and there are no tears from you, your wife, or your kiddo. Hope it all goes very, very well. So, all right, we'll get rolling here. If you're new or want, I'd kind of stall a little bit here as we start. Say some good mornings to everybody watching, so that way I can wait for that audience to build a little bit, so I don't have to repeat myself too much later on for those that watch the whole way through. Let's see, and I don't mind getting right into questions if y'all have them. All right, Aaron Hawkins, is the defensive line going to be too deep this year? So they have enough bodies to be too deep, yes. And especially when they get Ed Alexander back at nose tackle, provided they do. Now, Ed Ogeron has said that it's a minor knee injury, and he'll be back, provided he's being truthful. So now Drew knows that I laugh every time he grabs the tripod. So now he just grabs the tripod. Provided Ed Ogeron is being truthful about that injury being minor, which I think he is. No, don't grab it, baby. No, stop, Drew. No, Drew. Okay, go watch Peekaboo. All right, we'll see you later. Cameraman over there. Anyway, so I would say defensive line. If Ed Alexander's back and you can kick Fehoko back to tackle, then you have Fehoko and Lawrence with Alexander in the middle, and then your backup nose would be Tyler Shelvin. And then you have Glenn Logan on one side. And then, you know what, probably one of the young guys that they really like a lot. I don't know if it'll be Davin Cotton or who it might be, but, on that other side. So I don't know if they go too deep all the way across. But I think they have more bodies that they feel good about. And you know who I left off? Is Neil Farrell. And Neil played last year as a freshman, and they like him. He was probably not. Don't touch that, baby. You're so funny, Drew. Crazy kid. He's like I said, he just thinks it's funny that he comes in here and grabs the tripod. Let's see if we even that out a little bit there now. If that's better. Neil probably wasn't ready to be a huge contributor last year as a freshman, but did so sort of out of necessity. So, cutting off my head. Sorry. That just bugs me. Sorry, y'all. Let's see if that's better. All right. So Neil Farrell played sort of out of necessity, but it's one of those deals where, okay, he played a good bit, so that's good, right? And you wonder if, like, all right, I'll give you the example that a few years ago with the Saints, when they had the youngest defense in the NFL. What's Car. Is that what you wanted me to say? It was car? Car. I don't know what is, baby. I'm sorry. Okay, well, he's excited about it anyway. Remember when the Saints a few years back had the youngest defense in the NFL, but they play like Bobby Richardson played a whole bunch of snaps, and everyone thought, man, well, they're going to be. It was in 2014. It's like, man, well, they're going to be so much better next year because all these young guys got that experience. Well, yeah, a lot of guys got experience, but they weren't good players, and they got better players, and those guys ended up staying on the team. So anyway, so I wonder with some of those guys that were forced to play last year, or if they're just going to get beaten up by better players now. Cal, Carl, Coca-Cola, Carney. He wants me to say something with I don't know what it is. Car. Okay. Chris Reid injured Ed Alexander's knee. That was funny yesterday on the show. For those that don't listen or know about the radio show, started this bit last week after Ed Ogeron called Nick Brissett a good running back. And then it just kind of became this satirical thing where it was like, what did Nick Brissett ever do to Ed Ogeron? And our Huddle app it was just one after another. It was hilarious. Like, Nick Brissett forgot to put the filet in the gumbo, sort of. Anyway, but they were all funny. Like, and so yesterday we found out Chris Reid isn't going to be on the baseball team anymore. So the Huddle took the opportunity to do the same thing with Chris Reid, and it was pretty funny. Car. California. Carne asada. Is that a funny word? Was that good? Car. Ne asada. Okay. Let's see. Yancey said, I thought some of the pitchers could have been let go instead of Chris Reid. So, Yancey, you can never have enough pitching. And let's just be honest, like, I know fans liked Chris Reid, and I don't have anything personally against the kid, but I tried to tell you all this last year with why Slaughter was playing over Reid. Like, Chris is a local guy, try hard, all that stuff. Like, he's not a great glove, he's not a great arm, he can't hit for power, and he can't run. Like, the only thing he can do is kind of hit for average, and he hit 260 last year. There's just carnival. Collective soul. Car. I am surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be. I'm surprised by how many y'all are commenting about Chris Reid. Reginald, who else do you think come from the baseball team? Isn't it hilarious? Like, Baton Rouge is the only place in the world where the first full week of fall camp for football, people are worried about like a backup infielder getting cut from the baseball team. It's amazing. Who else gets cut? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I can ask, but we'll find out soon enough. When they go into fall baseball, we'll find out. They'll have to cut the roster by then. Carnival. Car. Cut. Country. No country for old men. Car. All right, sorry, y'all. Let's see. Trey Dykes, good morning. Randy Quinn. Frank Perniciaro, good morning. All right, let's see. With Reid gone, golly, it's amazing the number of questions about Reid. Josh Smith at third. Not necessarily, because some of the JUCO kids they brought in could be corner infielders. I think Josh Smith is a better shortstop. Brant Broussard is back, so you assume Brant's, because I would say Hal Hughes could kick over and play second, and Josh Smith could go back to short. But if Broussard's at second, You could leave Hughes at short and play Smith at third. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. If Bryce Terang came, then that would have been an easy decision. You put Terang at short and you could keep Smith at third. Carr. Got it. Sorry. But for those of you that have watched this for a long time, you know that Drew's interaction is just part of what's going to happen. Always worried about the camera angle. Well, Jonathan, like, the thing is, though, you don't want it to be, like, all crooked and, like, looking at the ceiling and stuff. So I want it to be, a nice shot. Adam Penny, good morning. I'd see. Scott says, if they meet for the Fulton case tomorrow, when do you think we could expect a decision? So I spoke to his attorney last week on the show, if you remember, and they said they expect a decision tomorrow evening or Friday by the latest. So one of the very good things about, like, if you have to say something nice about the NCAA, they do prioritize cases where there's a sense of urgency. So, for example, the Ole Miss kids, like we talked about, they got Shea Patterson's case done. Van Jefferson, who was an Ole Miss receiver who transferred to Florida, they got his case done last week or the week before to make him eligible. Like, they're going to... Car. Cow. Cat. Car. So they will expedite cases that are time sensitive, especially when it deals with a player's eligibility. So yes, so the NCAA, like, the fact that they reopen this case lets you know that they're going to swiftly come to it. They'll hear the new evidence, they'll come to a decision. So Thursday night or Friday, we'll know about Christian Fulton. And that's massive for a lot of reasons we've talked about before. Kerry Vincent right now is running as the starting corner opposite Greedy, with Terrence Alexander, the grad transfer, as the nickel. But Fulton just makes you immensely better at that spot. Car. At happy 134th episode. That is crazy, isn't it, Adam? So this is the 100. We've never missed a day. I've done this show on vacation, did it at SEC Media Days. I've done it from the car. I've done it from the airport. I've done this every single day for 134 days. And we ain't stopping, man. I'm enjoying it. And appreciate Boudreaux for sponsoring it. Stephen Miller, have read reports it could be Thursday afternoon. Well, remember, the attorney said that they were going to hear it like Thursday, conference call like 5-ish, like Thursday late afternoon. Early is when they were going to hear the case. So Thursday evening you might hear something, or Friday. He wants Calico. I don't know if he does. Coffee. Tyler Coleman, good morning. Calico! That's not what he wants. He wants me to say car. Cat. Cow. California. Car. That's what he wants me to say. Car. Oh, coffee. I'll tell him. Giles transferred in. He was given number 7. Is that a team vote or coach's vote? It's not really a vote. Just who they decided to issue the jersey to. Probably coaches had a say in that. But remember, he was on the team last year, so they got to see him a bit. I don't think that this, like, Cowabunga. I really hope that the 7 thing doesn't take on a life like the 18 thing. You don't need to fabricate traditions. I mean, the 18 thing happened naturally with Mock, then Hester, then Dixon, and then it became a thing when people started to notice, which was cool. Like, that happened organically. The 7 thing feels like it's being forced a little bit. Cowabunga. K-cup. Coffee. Cow. Can we say something else this morning, please? Okay. Chris Brewer, good morning. Let's see it. Cow. Chad says, I just shook Brian's hand at St. Thomas More. Works at it. That's my brother, Brian, is the principal. Good. Hope it's a great year, man. Car. Wow. You can see he gets obsessed with things. Jason Meigs, good morning. Kane Royer, good morning. Rouye. Any idea who the last player to be let go? I guess you're talking baseball. Chicago. The last player added last year was Clay Moffitt. I mean, I guess I always look at that. I go, all right, who's a utility infielder or an extra outfielder? Unless if there's an arm that they don't feel like is progressing, and that's something quite honestly, like you'd have to go ask Alan Dunn and Paul Maneri. Like if there was a pitcher they feel like isn't progressing and isn't going to be able to give them anything meaningful. If that happened, then I could say, okay, maybe a pitcher, but you can typically never have enough pitching, especially enough left-handed pitching. I'm looking at the roster right now. Cow. Cool. I'm looking at car. I'm looking at the pitchers. Vetmeyer faded last year, but he gave you some good stuff early. You'd hope he could come around. Clay Moffitt's going into his senior year. I mentioned Clay. I hate to see that for Clay, but he was the last guy added last year. And everyone else was just freshmen coming in. It's hard to pick someone else. Maybe Vetmeyer, maybe Clay Moffitt. I don't know, man. That's a tough call. That's a tough call for sure. Terrio's watching. All right, Terrio. I'll tell him Ryan when he walks in here. See if he likes that. I think he just locked himself in our bedroom. Hang on. He just locked himself in our bedroom. Hang on. Hey. Daddy's trying to do a show. Speaking of Terrio on there, Terrio and I yesterday recorded the new episode of the Riot Podcast. Y'all check it out. We do it Tuesdays noon on Facebook Live. So you can watch it, or you can go listen to the audio version if you prefer that. It's available on 1045ESPN.com, on our app, iTunes, all that stuff. If you subscribe to 1045 ESPN, you'll get the Riot Podcast. Ryan. Car. Cow. Car. All right, this is the last time I'm doing that, Drew. Lord. Terrio can kick rocks. Oh, look, there you go. Terrio said there's a transfer from Tulane will be the final guy. All right, so listen to Terrio. He knows. Michael Kirsch. That's his name, Michael Kirsch. So listen to Terrio. He would know. Thank you, Terrio. How about we do Ask Ryan? Y'all fire away. All right, fire away with questions if y'all got them. What, the 64 watching? Something else. Actually, Terrio and I talked about this yesterday on Riot Podcast, talked about the receiver. So Jamar Chase was in gold no contact jersey. Supposedly he's fine. He'll be okay. I am interested. I was thinking about this yesterday because all right, I'm gonna come back to your questions. I see Uland. I see your Dad Jam Price. I see your running back question. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, Petey Kern asked about receivers, so I'm going to get to that in a second. All right, what running back will score their first touchdown? Well, none of them have ever scored a rushing touchdown in college, so I don't know if that's what you meant, if you meant for the team. Probably Clyde, because he's going to get the most reps. Car. Andrew Baer, good morning. So Petey said, curious how we put together such a good receiver group with no proven quarterback. Okay. You're probably about to set me off again because I went off yesterday on Terrio about this when we were talking about it on Riot Podcast. Please tell me how you know LSU has such a good receiving corps. Please tell me that. Well, Hunt Palmer joined. Hunt will go off on this with me. Like, how can you tell me that LSU has put together such a good receiving corps? Please tell me. The leading returning receiver is the tight end. None of those guys, the big, tall, amazing freak show guys, D. Anderson, Stephon Sullivan, Drake Davis, none of those guys can get on the... Do you realize Russell Gage last year, who's 5'10", $180, and just tried to jump over everybody, that guy was your number 2 receiver last year over all of those athletic freak shows that we mention all the time. Russell Gage was the number 2 behind Chark, who ended up being a pretty good college receiver. It was Russell Gage behind all of those freak shows. How does the guy who's 5'10", 180 beat out the guy who's 6'6", 220? Like, that's unnatural in life. Hold on. Okay. All right, sorry. There's food in. Sorry. Probably needed a cooling off period anyway. So, Craig, I know Craig. I was going to get it. Anyway, so all right. Car, cow, cat, carne asada, carnival, card game, car. Okay. Okay. So, like, to assume, this is what annoys me about this time of year, because we see it, and it's mostly with, like, I could buy almost any other position, okay? Like, I could buy that there's going to be good offensive linemen. I could buy completely that the linebackers are going to be really good, or even that you're going to have a really nice, like, cornerback, like Kerry Vincent could emerge opposite. Like, I could buy any of that stuff. But when I've seen now on campus for 2 and 3 years these big freakish receivers that can't get on the field because they can't play the position, there's nothing that leads me to believe that I should believe that it's going to happen this year. Nothing. So, like, I in my opinion, there is a better chance of one of the freshmen, like Chase or Marshall, stepping on the field and becoming an instant contributor than the veterans, because I haven't been jaded by them yet to know that they're freakishly athletic but can't get on the field. And quite honestly, knowing the type of offense that Jay Roth runs at Rummel, I would think that a guy like Chase is probably more inclined to fit right in. And you can take this however you want, but I watched enough high school football to know that there's some teams where their offenses, like if they have just freakishly athletic kids, they're not refined, and all they do is they're like, hey, freakishly athletic kid, play quarterback and just run, or play receiver and we're just going to throw it up to you. And they never learn how to play the position. At least I know at Rummel, it was the same thing like with Odell. When Odell was at Newman, he ran in a pro-style offense and learned to play the receiver position. And yes, we've learned Odell's freakishly athletic, but remember, Jarvis Landry was a higher-rated recruit than Odell at the time. But Odell went to Newman, he knew how to play the position, so when he got to campus, he was playing as a true freshman in 2011, even when you had guys like Ruben Randall there already on campus as veterans. So, like, maybe Jamar Chase is the guy that can come on the field as a freshman and play. But, like, I don't want to hear anymore about LSU's receivers. I don't want to hear a thing about them. Like, I'm sick of hearing, like, because it's all we ever hear about is how, well, they finally got the group, and look at these big athletic guys, and they look so impressive getting off the bus. I'm like, it annoys me because they have so much ability there, like physical ability, and they get zero out of it. It annoys me. You can tell. Like, I am annoyed by this conversation. I'm annoyed by the receiver conversation. And people are asking about Giles. Forgive me, but I will buy Jonathan Giles when I see him week 3 at Auburn go up against legit SEC defensive backs and make plays. I'll buy you. Like, I'm not buying you catching 1,100 yards in Texas Tech's offense, where the whole thing is a gimmick design, like where every quarterback throws for 4,000 yards and every receiver catches 1,000 yards. Forgive me, don't care. And I watched that kid in the spring do nothing. So let me see it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to be skeptical with the receivers. I would believe Joe Burrow becomes an All-American before I believe that any of those receivers on campus right now become 1,000-yard receivers. So I hope they do. But you can tell, like, I get so pissed about this conversation. I'm so sick of the receiver conversation. I'm sick of it. James, did you see the video of Arden Key at Raider camp looking like his old self? Yes, I did. And good for Arden Key. I hope he stays on the straight and narrow, man. Like, you never know what happens with guys when they get paid. And with Arden, maybe it's the opposite. Like, because he slipped in the draft, he recognized, man, you better tighten up, because he missed his shot at a massive signing bonus, as a first-round draft pick. I mean, dude probably cost himself 8 figures. 8 figures. Yeah, 8 figures. Like, if he had been, if he had been a top 5 pick, he cost himself 8 figures. Yeah, he would have had a $10 million plus signing bonus. And that's where he was projected going into last year, before all this stuff. All right. Where are you and Hester going to do pregame shows on game day, studio or campus? So, Ryan, it's not Hester, it's T-Bob. So the way the lineup's going to go is me and T-Bob starting 5 hours before the game. Me and T-Bob will be in studio. So however you listen or watch AFR, you can listen or watch that. So ESPN Baton Rouge. I think we're going to be simulcasting ESPN New Orleans as well, but I'm not positive. And then you can stream us or live stream us as well. So we're not CST, but you can live stream us on our app. So you can watch us in studio if you want. Cal. Clyde. Clydesdale. Car. Let's see. Get a few more in here. With the possibility of running the option, who's the main running back who get to the edge? Will be a receiver in motion. Andrew, I have not seen much of them or heard much of them running jet sweeps. That was a Matt Canada thing. So I don't know if you're going to talk about a receiver. Like Clyde is your guy that will do that. I mean, he's going to be your speed back for sure. The thing that was surprising, and as I mentioned before, because they practice in the afternoon, I don't get to go see them. But I asked Jordy yesterday during the practice report about Chris Curry, who Ogeron's talked about, like looks like a young Marshawn Lynch. And Jordy kind of downplayed him, so like he's physically not ready to be an SEC back. So that was interesting to me to see who is the number 2. Maybe it's Brissett. All right. 2 freshmen, Chase and Marshall, will emerge as the top 2. I'm not going to say they're going to be the top 2, Charlie, because my guess is you're going to have Giles. I know they like Jefferson because he got on the field last year as a freshman despite being in camp for a limited time because he knew how to play the position. I think Giles, Jefferson, and Stephon Sullivan at least was on the field last year. Those are going to be your first 3 that get a chance at it. And I'll tell you, they like Racey McMath as well. And then the freshman, Marshall and Chase. Randy Zuccaro, good morning. Joe and Bryant Heno. Great interview, Josh Booty, one of your best. I really like when you have players from the past that comment on the current program. Cool. That's good feedback. I appreciate it. Keep doing that for sure. There's something I wanted to do last year on AFR, which was a segment called NFLSU, and get a different guy currently in the league on every week on their off day. And man, it just didn't work. Like it was much, even guys that I know, like I have their contacts. It was so difficult to arrange times to get that done. I think we might have done 1 or 2 all year, so a little bit of a bummer. But I will get more players on for sure. Let's see. Maybe if we had a reliable deep ball QB that could have utilized our big wide receivers, maybe. But even still, like I understand the point, but even if you're underthrowing the deep ball and you got a 6'6" receiver, go and get it. Anyway. Arthur said, I think coaching played a lot in the receiving corps last year. What about the year before? And what about the year before? And what about the year before and the year before and the year before? Like, I mean, at some point you just got to start recruiting better, either running a different offense to utilize your receivers or recruiting a different style of receiver. I mean, I understand your point. Everyone's going to point out Sullivan, and I'm not saying Sullivan isn't a great receiver coach. Obviously, he is. He's been around the game for a long time. That's never been my contention. My contention was hiring a 76-year-old man who's basically going to coach for 1 year, and then you're basically funding his retirement, and then you're off to get another coach next year. Guy's not going to recruit at all. So anyway, I hope he does make him great. I'd love to see a 6'6" wide receiver go play and dominate like you see these kids do in high school. Which it should be when you have a guy that's that freakishly athletic. All right. Charlie, I've seen him call a game with Marshall and Chase. They're better right now than other LSU receivers. You just compared Terrace Marshall to Randy Moss. God, dog, dude. Okay. Randy Moss. Do you remember Randy Moss in college? What would you rather talk about? We have 0 proven people on offense. Defense heavy, baby. Yeah, that's true. We talking PGA Championship or not, Hunt? Hunt, no. Sorry, dude. If Smiley were playing or John Peterson were playing, I'd be into it. I'd watch. I'd at least keep up with their scores, but otherwise, no. If Tigers playing on Sunday, I'll watch it. Let's see. You think Lowell will have a package? Think he'd be good with zone reads, options, wildcat, yada yada yada. So to your point about accuracy, I don't care. Like in the clips that you watch, I don't care what these guys do with no pass rush and no defender covering. Like, it's one of the things that, like, I try to warn and guard people against this time of year. Like, you get these 20 minutes of practice, the media gets to go watch and get little snippets of video, and people see a guy, like, running against air and think that he's going to be an All-American. Like, there's no defender there. There's no pass rush for the quarterback. There's no crowd. There's no TV camera. There's no pressure. It's just pitch and catch against air. So I wouldn't make anything of those video clips. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a good way, like, just an entree, like an appetizer to see inside the practice field. But don't try to draw massive conclusions from that. As for Lowell having a package, I bet they're selling him on that. Absolutely, I bet they're selling him on that. Because, quite honestly, Lowell's the most likely guy to transfer. So I bet they are trying to sell him on, hey, we're going to get you in the game doing this. And I would love to see them do that because I think Lowell would be their best running back right now if they play him at running back. But kid obviously wants to be a quarterback. We'll see. Steven, 5 hours of T-Bob. I have thought about that. 5 hours of T-Bob on the pregame show. But you know what? So much of that show though is done during the week. I shouldn't say it's done during the week, but like you fill in like something like that. It's segmented like a puzzle, right? So you'll have an opposing media segment. You'll have like an odd segment. You'll have a couple of scoreboard segments. You'll have the coach's interview, a player interview. So it's a lot of different stuff that's done. You're setting up. You're reacting to games that are happening. So it's a little different than like if we're doing a 5 hour just opinion-based show, if that makes sense. But it'll be fun. Hope y'all watch or listen. Jared Miller lost to Miami and to Auburn. Is Coach Joe gone? Not after week 3. But Joe Oliva could be gone by the time they the next board meeting. I mean, maybe. If it gets that bad. I'm not predicting that, but like for those that are asking how that happens, like Ed's not going to go before Joe because Joe's not going to fire Ed. This is not going to happen. So if Joe were moved, then that would open the door for Ed. But I'm not predicting that to happen. Nor am I hoping that happens. I'm hoping they go out and they beat Miami and then they beat Auburn and then they end up going 12-0 and playing for the national championship because that's great for business. And I'd love to see it happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Let's see. Adam Penny, will you be doing pregame or postgame this year? We just talked about that. So T-Bob and I are doing the Eagle 98.1 Game Day pregame show. So we'll be on 5 hours prior to kickoff for 5 hours. So new schedule, whereas Hannegriff used to go on 5 hours prior to kickoff and do a 3 hour show, and then we'd hand it over to the network. T-Bob and I will do that 3 hours, and then we'll continue on ESPN and our live stream for the next 2 hours leading up to the game. So if you don't want to listen to the LSU network, we'll give you a better option. Did I say a better option? Yeah, we'll give you a better option. Sorry, Hunt. We'll give you a better option. But if you want to listen to Hunt interview the tennis coach, you can listen to that. Sorry, Hunt. I love you. Sorry, Hunt. Car? Okay. Sean Walsh, Michael Scone, what's up, cuz? I'll get to a few more, and then we'll wrap this up. Hey, what? Okay. What do you think about offset I? What? Come see Daddy? Come see Daddy. No? Okay. We'll see you later. All right, a few more. Offset I, Torrey Carter. I don't know how much they're going to use a fullback, man. The thing I liked a lot about Carter last year is he had good hands. Like, he caught the ball. I think they could throw it to him. But with all these awesome receivers, I'd much rather than throw to him. Drew. Don't do. He just wants me to laugh. Thank you. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. I'd rather have O a little longer and can Oliva than vice versa. I mean, I'll just tell you definitively, like, I'll say it again. Oliva's not firing O. So Oliva will go before O. Whenever that is, Oliva will go before O. Free Fulton, Darren Pellegrin, good morning. Sorry, missed that. Cool. Charlie, great to hear you're going to be on pregame. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. It was so full. I don't mind telling you this. It was going to be Jordy and T-Bob, and I think maybe T-Bob had that in his contract when his non-compete ended that he was going to join pregame. It was something that he wanted. I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to speak out of turn with that. But anyway, so it was going to be Jordy and T-Bob, but and this just happened last week because Jordy. Yeah, I think Jordy was just thinking about his family. Because he does U-High on Friday nights, and then he was going to be doing pregame and then whiskey and wine with me after the game, and it was like his whole weekend was going to be clogged. So, and for me, I have nothing on Fridays. You know, I don't call any games anymore, and then I wasn't going to have anything but whiskey and wine on Saturday, and then what I was going to do a show with the Football Sunday show with Jimmy Ott from 10 to noon. So I was going to have my Saturdays basically Friday open, all day Saturday open except for whiskey and wine, and then that little 2-hour deal on Sunday. So I was going to have my weekends mostly to me. But Jordy wanted to kind of give himself a break, and I was absolutely willing to go do the show with T-Bob on Eagle and ESPN. So Jordy's going to do U-High, whiskey and wine. I'm going to do pregame whiskey and wine. So I'll have Friday and Sunday wide open, and I'll do a little more on Saturday. Jordy's going to do Friday, Saturday evening, and then have a Sunday and Saturday day open. So anyway, all working together, man. We got a good group, and everybody's just going to make it happen. So, all right, let me wrap this up, y'all. Boudreaux's Bloody Mary mix, margarita mix. Y'all check it out. Awesome people. I love letting y'all know about these warnings because you have to. Like, you got to know these warnings. Know the warning signs. The Bloody Mary mix, it remedies hangovers, boring Sunday brunch, holidays with the family, and frisbee golf. So if you're playing frisbee golf, this will remedy that. And if you're having boring Sunday brunch, this will remedy that also. And also, they warn you that this product will make you temporarily popular, funny, and good-looking. Seriously, it's right there on the label. And I love that they have fun with this stuff. So y'all check it out. Boudreaux's, the Bloody Mary mix, the margarita mix. If you're in Baton Rouge, they got it at Alexander's, Calandro's, Calvin's. Also, they got it at Mid-City Wine and Craft. And if you're down in Homa, at Canada's, if you're outside of this area. And by the way, if where you shop they don't have it, demand that they have it. And also, follow them on social media, and then BoudreauxMix.com. BoudreauxMix.com. All right, let me get out of here. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you today on AFR, and then tomorrow for Morning Scone. Later. I'll be nicer about the receivers tomorrow. Probably not.